Okay, here we are looking at the waiver wire pickups for week 2 of the NFL season. Week 1's over. As usual, there's been injuries in the NFL. Dak Prescott, Elijah McGuire. Some defenses did well. Some kickers did well. Some wide receivers played great. Others fell off the screen. Don't panic. We're here to help you out. We're going to make it as quick as possible. On the screen behind me, as you can see, we have up running backs. Why? Because it's our highest priority going into a draft where we're getting our running backs. For those of you that need a running back, the guy that's going to be on everybody's list is this guy here, Jeff Wilson from San Francisco. They're going to spend a ton of money to get this guy, but beware because Kyle Shanahan is like Bill Belichick. They go with a hot hand. And they've got 2 rookies behind Jeff Wilson that might get some playing time, and he'll go with the hot hand, just like Bill Belichick. So if you want Jeff Wilson, you're going to have to spend some money, probably up to 30% of your fab money or waiver wire money or priority. Let's see who we got on the NFL depth chart behind this guy that may help you in weeks to come, because I'm not sure this is the guy you want to pick up. As you can see here, Elijah McGuire, who's out 6 to 8 weeks with a sprained MCL, and I had one of these once, and I'm telling you what, there was a good month I had trouble walking, so playing football may have been a problem. And you can see right here, here's a rookie, Tyrone Davis-Price, who on rtsports.com, which is a favorite site of mine, you get a chance to check it out, they have Tyrone Price as the backup, Jeff Wilson, and Jordan Mason, who's another rookie. I think what you'll see is they'll put Jeff Wilson in there, and the reason is because he's got like experience where the other 2 don't. And I think the next person you'll see up is Jordan Mason. He played in preseason, played well. I think he may get some playing time, and Tyrone Davis-Price they'll also throw in there. So be careful how much money you spend on the waiver wire on Jeff Wilson. Let's look at some other running backs. Some other running backs I like. A long shot here is Eno Benjamin. Eno Benjamin, who plays for Arizona, had 4 rushes for 28 yards, caught 3 balls. That's not terrible. I mean, if you're in need of a running back and have to put somebody in there, these are guys you want to pick up. Another guy is the backup, Devin Singletary. Of course, 6 receptions for 21 yards. That's not too bad. Plus, he's getting goal line carries, so he might be somebody you want to pick up. So keep an eye on Zach Moss. Samaje Perine, someone you want to keep an eye on if you have Joe Mixon. That's his backup. And if you really want a deep sleeper in some of your leagues that aren't on this list, there are some guys. This is a league that I pulled up that I'm in. You can look at Rex Burkhead down there in Houston. He had a decent game. You could also look up Darrell Henderson, see if he's in your waiver wire. He's the handcuff to Cam Akers, and he might be the starting running back for the Rams. It's hard to say, but that could be who's out there on your waiver wire. And Khalil Herbert, who's the backup to David Montgomery, maybe he slipped through the things, and he's available on your waiver wire. But those are the running backs I'd be looking at in your waiver wire. Keep an eye out for Najee Harris. Maybe he's hurt. He's not playing. His backups are Benny Snell and Jaylen Warren. So if he's not playing, you might be able to pick up one of those guys and get by for a week or 2 until, he's back. Okay, let's take a look at some wide receivers for those of you that are out there in need of some wide receivers in week 2 of the NFL. Okay, here we are on RT Sports once again looking at some waiver wire possibilities at wide receiver. This kid right here, Devin Duvernay at Baltimore, had an amazing game. Look at that, 21 points right there. You can see his stat line right here. 4 receptions, 54 yards, 2 TD receptions, and he caught every target. Devin Duvernay may be a backup or at least the next receiver after Rashad Bateman to get a lot of catches. I do like him. Another guy I really like, and check out this stat line behind Curtis Samuel. 8 for 55, 1 TD, and 11 targets. It's the 11 targets that make him important. If you want a receiver that's in the game plan every week, I'd go out and pick me up some Curtis Samuels out of Ohio State. He'll play well. Other guys, Some of these guys, look down here. I mean, this guy didn't score a touchdown, only got 12.5. But Zay Jones used to play for the Raiders. I used to play for Philadelphia. Look at the targets right here. 9 targets, caught 6 for 65. That tells me he's in the game plan every week. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Other guys I like, and let's take a look at the scoring. Robbie Anderson, as you can see here, had 21 points, but he did have 1 catch for like 70 yards and a touchdown, so that's skewing that a little, so don't spend a lot of money on him. DeAndre Carter right here, he likes to play the slot with Keenan Allen hurt. DeAndre Carter against the Kansas City Chiefs might be a one-week wonder coming up. If Joshua Palmer's not also on your waiver wire, because I do like Joshua Palmer, he's going to have a big game against the Chiefs. Be careful with Sterling Shepard. He did have a big catch for a touchdown. And Greg Dortch down here also had a ton of catches because you have injuries and suspensions down there in Arizona. So they had to put somebody in there. And until these guys come back from injury, starters, and suspension like Hopkins, this kid could get a lot of playing time. So when you play daily fantasy leagues, Greg Dortch might be a great guy to have, along with Andre Carter, Joshua Palmer. I'm not so sure they're going to help you so much in your waiver wire. So don't spend a ton of money on some of these guys. But the main guys that I think will help you in your season-long leagues are Curtis Samuel, number 1, and Devin Duvernay, if you need a wide receiver. That's why you don't take a ton of wide receivers early in your draft, because you can always get them on the waiver wire, unlike running back, unlike tight end. Matter of fact, let's go check out some tight ends. Here we are on RT Sports checking out the tight ends once again, and this is a league that, there's none. It's 12-man PPR league. Tight ends, you're usually taken in your drafts, and you have to come up with a sleeper tight end every year, and every year there's always one. This year, if you take a look at O.J. Howard used to play for Tampa Bay out of Alabama, came in the league, didn't do well. Okay, then he goes to Buffalo in a free agent deal because Tampa didn't want him, and he got cut before the season even started. So Houston signed him, and what's he do? 17 points, 2 receptions, 38 yards on the 2 receptions. Both of them were touchdowns. Why? Because he doesn't know the playbook. So he is going to only increase playing time. So the tight end you want to go out there and get is probably O.J. Howard. Another guy I really like, you got these 2 guys in here from Seattle, as you can see on this waiver wire, Will Dissly and Parkinson. I think those guys will have good years. I would be very careful because Noah Fant out of Denver, who got traded to Seattle, is probably the tight end that you want. Why he didn't do well against Denver is because he was playing against his old team. And here's a kind of a sleeper tight end, Taylor Conklin. Used to play for Minnesota. 4 receptions, 14 yards, and a touchdown on 7 targets. Poor quarterback play. I wouldn't spend a lot of money other than O.J. Howard. But this guy may be a guy you want to go out and get. Other guys that I do like that aren't on this list are Tyson Hill down in New Orleans. He plays quarterback. He's listed as a tight end in a lot of leagues. Taysom Hill might be just below O.J. Howard. I also like Gerald Everett. He might be on your waiver wire. He plays for the Chargers. Used to play for Seattle and some other teams, so be careful. Go out and get him. I think he played for LA Rams last year. So he might be someone. He got a touchdown last week. I'd be looking at him. I also would be looking at Tyler Higbee. A lot of people slept on Tyler Higbee because he was hurt going in to the beginning of the season, playing the preseason. So Tyler Higbee of the Los Angeles Rams might be on your waiver wire. I'd be going out and getting him. Well, I'll tell you what, we got to look at quarterback because Dak Prescott got hurt. There are other openings. So let's check out the quarterback situation in your waiver wire. Okay, here you can see some quarterbacks that are available in this league. Clearly, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, Mills, Mariota, Jones, Jared Goff, Flacco. Those are all widely available quarterbacks in most leagues. This is a 12-man league. So other leagues that 10-man leagues, you might be able to go out and get Matt Ryan, which I highly suggest. He's got a good matchup coming up. But of these guys here, I would probably suggest Jared Goff. He's got a good matchup coming up. He had 21 points. He's playing Washington, Minnesota, Seattle, New England. And it gets, the schedule's there for him. Another guy I would consider this week is probably Baker Mayfield. You know, he's playing the Giants before he gets into a little bit of a tougher schedule with New Orleans and shootouts with Arizona and San Francisco. So those are quarterbacks you can pick up on the waiver wire in most leagues. I highly suggest you do it. If you got one quarterback on your team, because you had Dak Prescott, I would go out and get one of these guys just in case. You never know what could happen. But I would never go into a Sunday with just one quarterback because I've been burned in the past where that quarterback for some reason didn't play. I always like to have two going in on a Sunday, and those are some good quarterbacks you should consider going out and getting. So if you want some kicker, if you have a league with kickers and defenses, I'm a big fan of Cade York from Cleveland. I have him in every league, got me 17, 18 points last week. So if you need a kicker, go out and get yourself some Cade York from Cleveland. He's a rookie out of LSU. He's been kicking balls from 60 plus in practice. He had a little bit of nerves before the Cleveland game, but he ended up getting over that against Carolina and kicked a 58-yard game winner. This kid's got confidence, and you should go out and get him. I'd like him for Rookie of the Year, even though kickers never are considered for that. So you heard it here first. And I'll tell you what, if you need a defense, you should always draft defenses, at least one in your league that's pretty good, maybe even two if you get two that are average. I've had to do that several times, two average defenses. But if you need somebody just for 1 week, because for whatever reason, matchups, you know, Cincinnati's playing against Dallas. Dallas lost. Dak Prescott. They're going with Cooper Rush. I think Cincinnati may be able to get you some decent points on defense. Okay, that's it for the Waiver Wire report for Week 2 of the NFL season. I'm Buster Brown. The show is Redemption Rehab. Good luck.